All right, hello everyone. Welcome to this call of being unstoppable or being the force of unstoppable with me, Smriti Goswami and GULATI. So we are here, we are both right voice for you facilitators, and there are some amazing insights that we have about where all people tend to stop themselves. And most of the time, both of us have also gone through those phases where, at different times in our lives, where where you have actually struggled to find a voice in the world. At least I have definitely, and how we overcame all that, and what are the different things that showed up for us just by attending these Right Voice for You classes. So we are going to talk a lot about the magic of Right Voice for You and all the beautiful insights that you can receive from this.
Through that.
Let's start with you, Rashi.
Okay, so for me, Right Voice, first time when I did it was during COVID time with Christopher, who Gary's given the space that he creates these classes. And, when we look at Right Voice in this reality, it's always looked at like, oh, do I need to have a voice of public speaking, or, like I'll have the space of going out of the fright of being in the stage and all that. To one degree, yes, but it gives you a space to how you would like to be the voice of you in this reality. Like, have you all seen people in this reality? Like, they could be really quiet, not talking, but there's a pull in their world. Like when you just see them and you were like, okay, who is he or she? And I just want to know them. What is that? That's the energy that they're being, that themselves, that voice, that what, I don't have to be the center of attraction, but yet I can hold that space, that I'm the voice in this reality. And that's what was my first experience. But then luckily after that, once COVID got pulled out of this reality, I got an opportunity to do this class again with Chris and Smriti. And Smriti was the one who was holding that space, like, what, go ahead, choose this. And this year, even I chose to become the facilitator for that. So I'm just grateful. And I'm lucky today that I'm getting an opportunity to co-facilitate with her this class. So imagine a person who didn't even know what she was getting into it. Like, I'm one of the new examples who could, before even not going logically how and what, and it started to change in my reality, what can I be here? So it just goes beyond what you guys, if we don't look into the words, that unstoppable energy or the course's name, what is that you guys are asking through you to be in this reality? So if anyone has any question before we can share a lot. Yay, we have a first question, Aarti, who's hosting us, which we are grateful for. Go ahead, Aarti.
Hi, so I've had too much of resistance about this class, avoiding it since many years. So there's a lot of fear that I have, like, okay, like I'll have to like stand up and, do something, or like, as you said, public speaking, So can you speak a little bit more about exactly, like, it's not about public speaking, but it's about having your own, like just being able to say things, or what is it?
It's beyond that. It's not just the voice of this reality. Smriti, you want to put some light to it?
Yeah. So, I just truly understand where that's coming from, Aarti, because that's something I've really struggled with. And I don't even think I have any reason why I would struggle with something like this, but because I've had a very nice childhood, but yet still I've struggled with showing up, with finding my voice and so on. So, it's like, how many of you from the time you were little kids literally learned to find the tiniest little cracks, a crack where your space wouldn't impinge on anyone or impose on anybody else, or wouldn't impel a different reality in their world, or wouldn't harass them by your very being. So what happens is, we are looking at, when we are being out here in the world, we just keep looking at being a space where we will not impose ourselves on anyone else or impel them with our very being. And so we literally, it's like you're walking on eggshells, or you're treading softly and not trying to, create any not ruffle any feathers just because what if somebody gets upset with you and so on. Now, the thing is, what we really need to look at, what this class invites us to is for you to look at where are you relating with other people's realities to create your own reality. And when you look at, okay, whether somebody is going to be like, if you have to make a choice or if you have to choose something, let's take, for example, you're stepping out for a movie with your friends. Now, before you would make that choice, a simple choice like that, you'll be like, oh, what would my parents be upset with me if I step out? Should I be spending more time with my parents? Or what if my other set of friends get really, really upset? So now what you're doing is you're basing your choice on other people's reactions, and so that you don't hurt anyone. So these are the different things. So what we'll be doing in this class will be literally inviting you to connect to the core of you, who you are, what's the core essence of you. It's about receiving you. I mean, right was for you, these classes for me, the first thing that I received from this class was I learned to receive myself. That's the level of impact it created in my life. And from that moment onwards, there was no stopping. So it's not about public speaking. It's not about, it is, of course, you will be talking about, we will be addressing all those things, but it is way beyond that. And when you trust yourself, when you receive yourself, whether you're on stage anywhere or whether you're outside with your friends or anyone else, like you will not hesitate. You will just speak up. You will realize and acknowledge that you are a gift here in this world, and you will actually choose to step into that. So, Rashi, would you like to add something else to this?
So exactly what Smriti said. But more to that, like what I started looking at with all this, when you're receiving the you of this reality, it just gives you, there's so much more. Like it starts unfolding in these 3 days, the layer where you even did not know you had it within you. We think to an one degree, these are my hobbies, this is what I like, to a degree we know our day-to-day, how I function, or how as a younger girl or a man I was in this reality. But it teaches you a layer which you didn't even know it existed. Through that, you can create in this reality. Because there'll be a lot of, this is one of the few classes in Access which gives you the space you do hand-on exercises. Like it's not body processes, it's not like a bars or something. Like we will make you actively interactive things when there are more people, that what those sessions create in those 3 days. And that energy starts to shift in your world and you go like, that's me. It's like you get to see you in a very different, like you'll feel like, what, your face, a new face has come on you. It gives you that beauty.
I'm excited. I'm scared also, but excited also because I mean,
you resisted this class so much, Aarti, and it's time to choose this.
That is why I'm like,
it's basically, this class is about getting you out of your comfort zone. Yeah. It's about inviting you to possibilities that you never, ever, ever would have ever allowed yourself to even consider. It's about just melting all those limitations. It's about like chiseling a new you, like, suddenly you just chip off all the things that do not work for you, and suddenly you are a brand new person right there. So it's something like that. It will be, the class will be intense, no doubt, but it'll also be very fun. It's not only just theory. There is a lot of things that we'll be talking about. We'll be giving you a lot of home plays, which you have to do before the class. There'll be, we can't give away what we'll be making you do, but
we will catch you on the spot and we will see that you do it. Like it's like once you're there, you're choosing the new you.
And also it's the safe space for you to literally let down your guards and let down your barriers and actually step into a new way of being. It's about a lot of things, but it's also about unraveling the magic of you. So yeah, that's what. Anyone else has any questions? Any one of you?
No questions. You can even type if someone is not comfortable to unmute and talk.
Is it like being you?
Is it like being you? So It is, I think it's both.
It's teaching you being you from a different space.
So it's being you is a different subject, and this is a different subject.
Yeah.
Yes, but each of Access classes invites you to start receiving you. It's
You.
about showing up. It's about acknowledging your own self-worth. It's about knowing who you are, and you will not hide or or it's about putting forward total like an, how do I put it? I'm at a loss for words. It's like how when we're showing up in the world, we're mostly putting forward a very limited version of us, because you're treading softly, you don't want to ruffle feathers, you don't want to antagonize anyone, you don't want anyone to be upset with your choices. But you need to realize it's about acknowledging that you can be anything you want in the world, and it doesn't matter who thinks what, because choosing for you does not mean choosing against anyone else. It's about showing up and making choices that really actually contributes to the life that you're looking to create. So in whichever way it shows up. And being you is also similar. They're both similar, but there are different manuals with different things that we'll be talking about. Sometimes certain people don't get it in one way, so this is the other way that they get it. But it's all these classes in Access are all about receiving you, or receiving the magic of you. So yeah. It's interesting that you asked this question, and I was so lost for words. And I've been a facilitator for both these classes. So I was just wondering, okay, now what do I reply to that? Because it's about finding yourself in both the classes.
Both have a very different essence. So that we cannot say that, choose this and choose not that. Like as Smriti said, we both are actually facilitators for both of that. And if I had to still choose, I would choose still both.
Yeah.
Because both will create something different and will show me to how to receive me in a different way.
It's like, when we're leading our life, we keep looking at other people's judgments and of us, and people tend to judge us just so that they can stop us. So when the topic of this call is being the force of unstoppable. So what if you can actually give yourself the permission to be that force of unstoppable? Like, no matter who thinks what about you, or no matter what other people are saying about you, you are going to continue choosing everything that works for you and literally be unstoppable, irrespective of other people's judgment. Because people, when they judge you so that they can control you. And just because somebody is judging you does not mean that what they're judging you for is true, right? Let people judge. What are you aware of? You know yourself. Step into that. So this class is a retreat that we are offering. It's a retreat near Pune. It's a beautiful villa, and it has it's a 3-day class. We're going to have a lot of fun there, and
a lot of activities, hands-on. It's like you're hands-on, we're holding your space that you have to create from that energy. I think we have to mute people.
Let me mute everyone. Hold on.
Yeah, wait.
Somebody's written a message. So I'm in a hiding space for past few years. I don't show up and not choosing. Others choose for me. And I have the belief that I have to go through my beliefs in order to get rid of them. So what exactly is creating and destroying so that you choose for yourself? And what is choosing for yourself doesn't mean choosing against others, because I feel like if I choose for myself, then I choose against others. Looking for clarity so I can choose. And also, I literally have no idea what would life be to be like, no earnings, no friends, and get the energy. Interesting. Cool. Do you want to take this question, Rashi, or should I?
Yeah. So in simpler words, it becomes a choice. We claim, we are choosing, we are but it's a muscle. It's not something, you know, by just doing this class also and we're like, okay, you know what, I did hands-on practice and now my life should. It's giving you that space, but having a choice is a daily muscle. And how much are you guys ready to receive you in this reality? So people will be people, like as Smriti said, that it's giving you that it's not about judging them that they are wrong or you guys are right or vice versa. It's about you being in allowance that I am ready to show up and let's see what the world gives you. But the point is, are you wanting to give the world the power or hold that space for you in this reality? That's the voice we are asking you to be in this reality. We're not trying to tell you to fight this world. We are not trying to say you will be the peacemaker. We're just asking the space that you holding and choosing that unstoppable energy where you can really, the true essence of you, which is really waiting to create in this reality, being from that space. And it is a muscle. If you think I am Smriti, don't fall, we do. We are in our human body. We do have our own challenges, but that's the beauty. What if we didn't make it wrong or fought that daily and go like, oh, I'm in this family. Oh, my family is this way. You know, I don't have this in my life or that. And so looking that lack, going like, okay, can I have fun with this and choose more on that in choosing you? You're having that fun to hold that space for you in this reality.
Yeah, like all of us have our own set of challenges, and basically the main person, our own mind is our biggest, I don't even know what to call that, but our greatest limit, let's put it that.
Limitation or
greatest deterrent. So the thing is, irrespective of that, like let's say, for example, you look at, oh, I don't have the money to choose this. But when you choose something, the money just shows up, and it will show up in the form of a gift. It will show up in the form of suddenly you will get some income tax returns, or somebody will gift you some money, or it'll just show up, right? But you have to keep on choosing. And it's not like you're not testing the universe. You're not like, okay, I've chosen, now where is the money? It's about what do you have to be and do also to get that, right? It's not like just sitting tight and saying, oh, okay, I've chosen and where is the money? There's no money, so you were wrong. It's not about that. It's about being that energy that no matter what, I am going to be it, do it, create it, whatever it takes, and acknowledge that and be whatever energy is required to actualize that. It's about literally being that force of unstoppable where nobody can ever stop you from choosing all that you desire to choose. Now, when you're talking about this class, the Right Voice for You class, it's not only for just making choices, it's also about, like how most people, when they're dealing with, let's take, for example, corporates, when people who are working in corporates or people who are working in media or actors and actresses and all those places, all those people, this class really contributes to all of those professions, because how many times does it happen that when you've done something or you're working on some particular project and you did a lot of work and somebody else just walks in and walks away with the credit for that, and then you're like wondering what the hell just happened? Or in other corporates, your boss will keep getting after you. You have to meet those deadlines. You have to complete all the work, and you're not good enough. You're not putting in enough efforts, and then keep on pushing you to the limit. And then you'll go ahead and do everything for them, and then the boss will just walk away with all the credit. So, and then it really hurts, and you're like, what the hell just happened? And so it's about really finding your voice in your workspace, in your house, in every little thing, in every aspect of your life, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your workspace, whether it's in your profession, or even at home. Even if you're a housewife, you don't really have to be working or have a business. Even if you're a housewife, when you are at home, people just take you for granted. They just sideline you. So it's about showing up and acknowledging who you are and inviting others also to see that about yourself. It's about, you just start being a very different energy. It's like, when you walk into a room, certain people, like how Rashi mentioned, certain people have that magnetic presence. It's about owning the room. It's about where people will just turn their head to look at you. It's about being that magnetic presence. So that's what this class invites you to. And also, like people who are in acting profession and singers and artists, it's about, we'll be talking a lot about energy pulls and how we use energy pulls to invite more and more, a bigger, wider audience. And even for your classes and other things, how you can actually invite bigger classes and different things for yourself. So there's no limit to what all we can actually create and receive it from this class. And each class is dependent on the participants and the questions that they bring forth. So what else do you have to add, Rashi, to this? So let me ask you a question. So when you attended the Right Voice for your class, what changed for you?
So like, as I said, when I done my first one, there was a space like, wow, like, you know, because in COVID, the reality was given that, you know what, there's nothing, it's just your family. But it still gave me the space. I could be living with the family, but I can still hold that space for me. Because in COVID, we were all getting lost who we were, what's the future. But it gave the space that being myself, I'm still being okay to be with the family and, you know, being with that whole complete lockdown. And as I started choosing more of this right voice, I was like, okay, that's one layer got released. Second time doing it, it was like a space like, there's so much more. When you do it with people in interactive space, it's the energy that your voice really matters. Because we believe our voice matters only from a space of, you know, between only the loved ones or in a field. Like as Smriti said, like, you know, you could look in your acting and all. Yes, it helps that, but it gives you the voice from any angle when you're ready to look at yourself in a different way. It's like you really become that magical energy to this reality, that magnetic energy that people just want to see you because you're seeing yourself in a different aspect. And by the time I did my third time before I took the training up, it was like, okay, you know what? I am going to see that this is a space, that voice that everyone can have it. I was ready to acknowledge me that I can hold that space. It gave me the trust of me to that degree through that voice. So it just teaches you. So that's when access the beauty is like, you know, a lot of people say, you know, I did this class this time, that time. With the beauty, with everything changing, with keep choosing more, daily more of you, it holds the space that how much more you guys can have every day in your reality.
Truly.
It's purely that you holding your own back. We believe that people have to hold our back. Yes, you can have that support, but can we learn to have our back here through the voice of you? So I would say, if this all feels light to you guys, you can reach out to Smriti, Aarti, who's hosting us. We can share the venue, more details. It's going to be like the beauty about this, the reason we chose to go in a retreat, because the class will have a more different space besides the hours what we'll be doing as a class, but then interactive space will allow to have more of you. And it holds this place, you know, when you do in a retreat, or, you know, when you do an RF station, it just gets you away from the voice of this reality. It helps you to have your voice more faster. So if that's an invitation, you know who to connect. And if not, we have no point of view. Smriti, say anything?
I said I'm really, really looking forward to this class. There's an energy to it.
Yes.
And the place, the venue is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Maybe we'll create a reel for that, or maybe we'll post some pictures. Yeah.
And Smriti, guys, have personally been there, and she's taken classes before there. So the way she expresses about the place, that voice she holds with that place, like the minute she asked me that, can we do it there? That voice, what she was being, there was that space, you know what? Yes, let's jump into it.
It's a place where everything contributes, all the elementals there, the trees, the little tiny birds. It's just so beautiful. Like when you're conducting the class, when I'm conducting the class, there are these little tiny weaver birds which are just there just fluttering their wings. They're just roaming around. It's just so beautiful to just see that and witness that. Then you can see this very pretty kingfisher bird, which will keep diving down to get fish. It's like you're with nature, and it's a space where you actually truly start finding yourself. I love that place, and I would really love to invite you guys to that place. It's beautiful. And so it's a 3-day class. And if you need more information, connect with either RAASHI, me, or ARATI.
Yeah. The class dates are 3rd to 6th, but we'll be taking a return back on 7th. So because the class, so 3rd to 6th, sorry, 3rd, 4th, 5th will be the class, and 6th will be the return.
Yeah. And it's about 4 hours from Mumbai. So if you're in Pune and all, you're most welcome. And if you're in Mumbai, we can all travel together. We'll just hire cars and we'll travel together. And if you are in whichever part of the world, if you'd like to join us, then the best place to land would be the Pune airport, and it's about 1 hour away from there. So you can connect with us, and we can make sure make all the arrangements for you. And yeah, how could it get any better?
Yes.
And before we end, there's just one more thing I wanted to share. If you want to know how much does this class create changes for you, it's like when my first ever Zoom call, which was a book club, and I messed it up big time. Okay, I mean, I didn't know what I was saying. It was with an international facilitator, and I kept missing out on. I couldn't figure out what their accent was, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" What I didn't realize at that time was that I was so aware of what's going on in other people's world, and I kept thinking and I kept getting so confused, and I was like, "Okay, it's my own judgments about me." But I did not realize what was going on at that moment. So I really, really messed up that particular call. And then I was feeling so bad about it. And then the very next day, I was like, I just searched, when is the next Right Voice for You class? I was like, I have to choose that, because whatever it takes, I'm going to show up now. So I signed up for those Right Voice for You classes. And then when I became a Right Voice for You facilitator, during that Right Voice for You facilitator training, that was being co-facilitated with Gary and Chris. And I mustered up enough courage to go up next to the mic and ask Gary this question. And literally, my knees were shaking. Okay, and my voice was wobbling. Like I couldn't even speak properly at that moment. I was so terrified, and I wasn't sure like what I'm going to even say. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me why I was being that energy. But that's what was happening. And I was like, Gary, when every time I'm on a Zoom call, I just go blank. I don't know what to say, and I forget what all I have to say, and how do I sort that out? And then he just looked at me. He's like, you are a damn facilitator. Go out there and facilitate. Don't make it about you. Make it about the contribution that you can be to people. So it's not about you. And that time it did not make sense to me, but I realized something that, most of the times when we are stepping out or when we are doing something and we start panicking because we make it a lot about ourselves. But what if you actually acknowledge that it's not about you, it's about who you can contribute to? Because then when I came back home, I mean, I landed in Delhi, and I was invited along with my dad to a college, which was actually a university where there were these engineering students and also MBA students. And so I was there. My dad was being felicitated for something. And then they just said, okay, hey, what have you learned? You just came back from some training. Would you like to say something to the students, or would you like to advise them something? And I did not even have any paper in front of me. I didn't have anything written in front of me, but I just stood there. I used those energy pulls. I used whatever information I'd learned in those Right Voice for You classes, and I just started speaking. And I addressed that whole university for almost like 20 to 30 minutes. And everything, like the words were just flowing, and they all enjoyed the whole whatever conversations we had, and it was just such a beautiful moment. And later on, when I saw the photograph, I realized, my God, look at the implication of this. Like, I never ever thought I could even go up on stage. I just couldn't, right? So this is the level of change just attending one class starts creating for you. And then beyond that is your choice to step into whatever mode you would like to. So if whatever I shared, if that's an invitation, if you'd like to have more of that, come join us.
And if you guys are still not brave enough, there's an intro class or a smaller class which Smriti is doing online. You guys can look into that and connect with her for that detail, which I think is on this weekend.
Yeah, that's tomorrow actually.
Oh.
20th and 21st. There's a one-day class which can also be attended online. The 3-day class has to be attended in person. But tomorrow's class can be attended online. It is from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow and day after. And it's only for 30,000. In case you'd like to choose that, connect with me or RAASHI or ARATI, any one of us. So looking forward to seeing you, and thank you so much for being here. In case anyone has any questions, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll end the call.
Smile, please. Smile. Yes.
Thank you, Anish, for all the pictures that you keep clicking for us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, Tanushree.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye. We're so grateful for each one of you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Want to stop the recording first?
Yeah. I'm ending the meeting or stop?
No, I think it's always better because sometimes it gets corrupt.
Oh, okay. Okay.